Okay, so I'm going to go over a fitness transition with you. We've already filled out the top portion here. And so what you can see is we have discussed the interest in joining the fitness center, made a little note that they're going to join our gym after therapy. And then the PT has selected 4 exercises. They've selected the sets and the repetitions of those exercises. And then they also went ahead and put which pieces of equipment are safe for this patient to use. This is really good because sometimes patients will go over there and ask, am I allowed to get on the treadmill? And we don't want an aide or office person to feel responsible for answering that question. So from there, we went ahead and we created a program. And once that program was created, we asked them if they needed reading glasses, because it's going to be a joke if you ask them to read that form if you don't ask them for glasses. So go ahead and get those out of your office. Make sure to clean them. Get them some reading glasses. From there, we printed out our 2 or 3 day program, primarily 2-day, but if your physical therapist tells you a 3-day, that's great. And then we're going to calculate their target heart rate. We just made a generic 50-year-old woman. We subtracted 22 minus that age, multiplied it times 0.6 to get that beginning range, and then we multiplied it by 0.8 to get that higher range. This is where their target heart rate zone is. And we also went ahead and wrote that on the handout. Be prepared. I'm going to move the page here. So here's this handout that we also went ahead and filled out. All we did was just rewrite that information as well as their name. Notice the staples on top, because we put this page on top of the packet, because if you've been through this training, this is what we want to keep reinforcing. Anytime they ask a question that the answer's on this form, we want to make sure that we tell them the answer, but show them where they can find it on their own as well, so that if they forget, they can go back and find the answer. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and turn to page 2. This is where you have your sample strength program. We've got the date, and we have it in a 5-day layout for a 2-day program. So day 1, they'll do their cardio and strengthening. Day 2, cardio. Day 3, cardio and strengthening. Day 4, cardio. Day 5. It's really important to make sure that they know that this is a sample. We're not telling them they have to do this. This is a way that we can hold them accountable for coming up here 5 days a week. At the bottom, it also talks about the minimum amount of exercise that a person should get per week. And it's 2 hours and 30 minutes of moderate intensity. That could be walking, vigorously working outside, things like that. Or an hour and 15 minutes of vigorous intensity activity. That might be like the stair climber, a high intensity workout, things like that. And then over 65, it's just kind of, they need to listen to their body. Their body might not allow them to do this much exercise per week, but listen to their body and do as much as it will allow them to. Now, always put the name on every single document. You have to remember that being a physical therapy clinic, these are all potential legal documents. So every single page has a name and a date on it. Just like these, I know it's really easy to just leave this as Corsicana 2-day beginner program. No. Make sure that we go ahead and we switch it to their name spelled correctly, because people take that offensive. And make sure to go ahead and put their therapist. So if their therapist is Dr. Watson, I know it seems like it might be a little thing, but go ahead and just change the name to Dr. Watson to make them feel like their therapist is really the one that has created it for them.